Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am your humble host, Saved by Children TV, back at it for a brand new video. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe on today's video. Today's video is going to be about six horrible stories, and I have two extra bonus stories that I'm gonna be dropping also. So stay tuned to that. But before we get into um, today's video, today's video is sponsored by Cash App. So if you have not got your Cash App card, get you a Cash App card. It's much easier. And Cash App me at $CPA16. Subscribe to my prime time channel and my reaction channel, Charles Reactions, so you'll be notified every single time I drop a brand new video. The stories we're going to be talking about today is the St. Louis school shooting that happened today. 15-year-old who was murdered by police, which happened back on October 6th. His name is Jaheim McMillan. The third story we're going to be talking about is Texas mother get life plus 20 years for leaving her kids at home alone while going out to a bar. Our first story is Texas man allegedly going to go 2 newborns in a hospital. Our fifth story would be 7-year-old assaulted at a nursery. Sixth story is teens ages 14 and 15 charged with murder after allegedly firing 100 rounds at an innocent woman at a drive-by. Now, two bonus stories is going to be twins who escaped from Cypress home led to couples with real parents arrest after they suffer horrific abuse, neighbors says. The last story we had of Buffalo, New York, which would be 4 teens killed in a crash at Route 33 and 198. So let's get into today's video. My baby go home off my take your Venus with you. Teacher and teen killed in shooting at South St. Louis High School. Suspect is dead. So 2 people lost their life, including the suspect. St. Louis. A gunman entered a South St. Louis high school on Monday with a lawnmower and multiple high-capacity magazines, shooting a teenage girl and a health teacher to death and injuring several others before police shot and killed him, authorities said. Police identified the suspect late Monday as Orlando Harris, 19, a graduate last year of the school, Central Visual and Performing Arts High School, at Arsenal Street in South Kingsway near Tower Grove Park. One survivor heard the shooter say he was tired of everybody in the school. Police said the damage could have been far worse. The shooter's gun jammed at one point. One student said, giving kids time to escape, and police found more than a dozen 30-round magazines on him. Authorities did not release the names of the woman and the teenage girl who died, but relatives of the woman identified her to the Post-Dispatch as 61-year-old Jean Kuziska, who taught health and physical education. Kuziska, a mother of 5, lived in the Denver area of Jefferson County. And family and friends said sophomore Alexandria Bell, who was 16, loved art and dance and was consistently smiling. Four other students were shot and injured, two in the leg, one in the arm, and one in the hands and jaw. Two more students suffered abrasions, and a girl fractured her ankle. Interim St. Louis Police Commissioner Michael Sachs said Monday evening that he was extremely proud of the police response. The call for an active shooter came in at 9:11 a.m., and the shooter was shot 14 minutes later on the school's third floor. He said a security officer saw the man trying to enter the building, and police were alerted. Several parents and St. Louis Mayor Tashara O. Jones also commended the police response. This could have been much worse, Sachs said. Tech refused to say how the gunman got into the building, but said all Seth refused to say how the gunman got into the building, but said all doors were locked. The building has metal detectors and 7 security officers. Seth said the gunman had no criminal history. There are 2 magnet high schools on the campus: Central Visual and Performing Arts with about 400 students, and Colgate School of Medicine and Bioscience with about 300 students. David Williams, a math teacher at the school, said the school principal came over the loudspeaker around 9 a.m. and said the code phrase that indicated a shooter in the building. Williams heard multiple shots outside his classroom, and one of the windows on the classroom door was shot out. He then heard a man say, "You all are going to explosive die." Police haven't said how many shots were fired inside the school. Elijah Foreman, a 15-year-old sophomore, said it was chaos when the call came over the loudspeaker. He said he texted his parents that he loved them and heard 4 gunshots and took off running. He said he almost ran into a body in the hallway on his way out. "I don't even know how to deal with it," he said later. "I am scared." Raymond J. Parks, a dance teacher at the school, said he was about to take a ballet class when he saw the shooter wearing all black with a long gun out of the corner of his eye. Parks said the man pointed the gun at him but did not fire for some reason. Tanya Golston, 16, was in the dance class when the shooting started. He said, "I'm tired of this damn school and I'm tired of everybody in the dance." Tanya said the shooter was going very again and that she was able to run for safety. Renaya Cole, who's in the dance class, too stretched when she heard a gunshot. "We hid in a corner behind a mat," said Renaya, who was 16. Once the gun went off, Renaya and classmates died out of the school into a vacant Walgreens building. Donna Jones, a ninth grader at the school, said she was in math class. The shooter fired into the room from the hallway out, but could not get into the classroom. Students pulled into the corner of the room and tried not to move as the shooter banged on the door, she said. Banged on the door. Ryan Owens, 18, a senior at CVPA, said students thought it was a drill at first. Then we heard noises. When she heard the boom, said teacher Michael D. Filippo, all the chuckling and laughing in the back of the room stopped. Tanya Limpkin, who was in speech in debate class at the time, she said a staff member told them to close and lock the door as they did for an intruder drill, but they did not know if it was real or not. "Next thing you know, we just heard gunshots." Tanya said first single shots turned out, then multiple, then single again, she said. Jemiah Hamilton, 16, was in local class on the 4th floor of the building when she heard gunshots on the 3rd floor. "I heard one big one, and then there were so many. I stopped counting," she said. "I'm confused by people that are so cruel." By 9:30 a.m., the area around the school was blocked up by police, ambulances, and SWAT vans with hands in the air, filling up Hereford Street toward the Shonix grocery store on Arsenal, where hundreds of evacuees gathered. Their students and their parents reconnected, hugging and crying. One boy was consoling his mother. "I'm glad to see all of my friends are alive. My friends are alive. It's okay, Mom. It's okay. I'm here," he said. Earlier Monday, Mayor Jones and Rep. Cori Bush spoke at the first news conference of the day. "It's so unfair," Jones said. Choking up, "I'm heartbroken for those families. Our children shouldn't have to experience this." Bush said it's vital to get up if you need it in the shooting's aftermath. "If you don't know who to talk to, you can call our office," she said. "It's okay to not be okay." In Washington, White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre addressed the shooting with reporters in the wake of Newton, Parkland, Buffalo, Uvalde, and countless other shootings in the communities across the country. We need additional action to stop the surge of gun violence, calling on the U.S. Senate to to approve an assault weapons ban and take other common sense actions. St. Louis Public Schools announced late Monday evening that classes will be canceled Tuesday at Central Visual and Performing Arts and Collegiate School of Medicine and Bioscience high schools in the wake of Monday's shooting. CVPA was Southwest High School for decades until 1992. Steph Cohen and Katie Cole of the Post-Dispatch contributed to this story. Okay. I'm gonna continue saying this because I think it's very, very true. Give me a second. School shootings are the new norm. It's the new normal. It's like it's something that people just do out of seeking attention. Now, again, this is not the first time that a former student went back to his high school and opened fire. Let's remember the Parkland school shooting in Florida, where Nicholas Cruz went back to the school and shot it up and killed multiple people. And his reason for it is because, quote unquote, that he was being bullied and they had friends and was depressed. But that shouldn't make you want to shoot up a school either. And I would like to know, why did this former student have the urge to go back to the school and do what he did? And the student, it said he was in his 20s, but it looks like the student is 19 years old. So he must have graduated early, which probably graduated at 17, 18. So, you have to ask yourself, at 19, where did he get a gun from? Because if you're between the ages of 17 and 19, you're not old enough to even have a gun. So, I would let you know where the gun came from and how you got a hold to a gun at the age of 19. And if this is not a coincidence that the gun was left laying around at his house, I would like for the parents, the suspect parents, to maybe give the people, the media, the viewers, maybe a clear statement to how their son got a hold to a gun and then went to a school and killed two people. Um, that would be something that a lot of people would want to know. And watching the video, the news video earlier, and seeing children jumping out of basically from like rooftops with their hands up, that has to be tragic for a lot of people. You know, and again, this school was a great school. They had no problems there. Students said that it's students have well behaved, and So what makes somebody that upset go back to the school you formerly attended and commit murder? I mean, it what gives you the right to open fire at a high school and kill people? Because now there's a when you go to a school and cause so much headache and pain and fire and cause mass casualties or cause people to lose their lives and get injured. That is trauma. That trauma is not on the victim's family. You don't got. Let me tell you about why school shooters don't care when they shoot up schools. Because at the end of the day, the trauma is not going to fall back on them. It's going to fall on the loved ones. So the trauma is going to fall on the victim's loved ones. And, you know, it's time for a change with school shootings. I think it's time to get guns off the streets, assault rifles off the streets. That, obviously this 19-year-old should have never been able to have a firearm, and let alone had an opportunity to go to a school and shoot it up, and the fact that innocent students had to witness such tragedy, and so many people at school lost friends, their teachers, you know, they lost a teacher, they lost a friend, and you know, it's a hard thing to go through. But the shooter, um, this is planned. Anytime a mass shooting happens, it's planned. It's planned. It's brought out and it's planned. The thought of it is what triggers most school shooters. It triggers them to get a gun, go to a school, and shoot. It's we live in a dangerous world, very very dangerous, where people don't care about other people and other people's safety. And to go to a high school and gun down two people and injure six others, something has to be wrong with you. Right now, St. Louis community, the school, the mayor, the police departments, the fire departments, EMTs, everybody in St. Louis are going through hard times dealing with this school shooting. So let's keep St. Louis in your thoughts, prayers, and it's a tragedy, and there's a lot of people affected by this and by this gunman decision to shoot at the school. Like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on the post notifications. We're on story 2 out of 6. Our next story takes us to Mississippi, Mississippi takes an L. And we're going to be talking about the story of Jaheim McMillan, who was 15 years old and was shot in the head outside of Family Dollars and gunned down by police officers. And I believe 4 other men were arrested for unrelated charges. Monday afternoon, representatives from a number of national civil rights organizations gathered in front of the Gulfport Police Department to speak out about the officer-involved shooting that left 15-year-old Jaheim McMillan dead. The advocates holding Monday's news conference said they have video from a nearby business that shows the teen with his hands raised in front of the Family Dollar complying with the commands of officers on the scene. They said the video shows an officer is jumping out of his car, running and shooting at the young man. They say they want to eventually release the video to give the public a clear picture of what happened, but they're not ready to release it at this time. The description of the moments leading to the deadly shooting are in direct contrast with the scenario police have described. One of the officers observed McMillan, who was armed, supposedly. The officer gave orders to McMillan to stop and drop his weapon. McMillan did not comply. McMillan turned his body and weapon toward the officer. The officer fired at McMillan. Advocates said they want the officer arrested and charged with murder, and they want to see Chief Cooper terminated based on his handling of the situation. WLOX New Live streamed the almost hour-long news conference Monday afternoon. You can watch on its entirely below. From the beginning, family and community leaders have called for the release of any video that showing the fatal shooting outside the Gulfport Family Dollar. Mississippi Public Safety Commissioner Sean Tindall has promised to do just that, but only after the Mississippi Bureau of Investigations analyzed its complete investigation. WLS News spoke to Tindall shortly after Monday's news conference, and he held strong in his position to see the investigation through before making any video public. You can watch our full interview with Commissioner Tindall below. Other speakers at Monday's news conference also included families from around the United States that have been impacted by police brutality and other violence, including the families of Jacob Blake and Breonna Taylor. Now, in my opinion, I don't think the teen was armed. There was witnesses, a female witness, who said that she saw Jaheim McMillan with no weapons in his hand, and also Family Dollar workers also said that he didn't have no weapon in his hand. So what that means is that the officers basically shot once again, an unarmed black teen in the head, knowing that he had no weapon on him. I don't understand why police officers think it's okay to gun down innocent black men and women who's unarmed. What are you doing for your community and for your police department when you on the streets finding any black person to take a gun out and shoot them? That badge means one thing. It means to help upheld your what? Upheld your oath. And you did not do that. And the sad part is police officers don't use the tasers. They use deadly force on black people. They don't use tasers. Because I'm gonna tell you why. Because they want to see black men and black women dead. That's why they don't use the tasers. They need to start a full investigation. And those officers responsible needs to be locked up for murder and the death of Jaheim McMillan, who was only 15 years old. How can you shoot an unarmed person in the head and then put his dead body in handcuffs? I think that's better. Come on now. You gotta understand. You gotta understand what you did. It's made your department look bad. You didn't make your department look good. Cause you made your department look bad, and you will get fired, and you will get locked up for what you did. Justice for Jaheim McMillan, RP, 15 years old, not deserve that. And Mississippi takes a big L for that because the police knows what happened, but yet they want to wait until an investigation come out. Put out the video. Put out that video. Because that video is evidence. And that evidence is going to be proven in court. What type of police officers are you hiring for the force? Like, comment, and subscribe. We're on Stubby 3 out of 6. Texas takes an L. Texas mother gets life in prison plus 20 years after a bedridden 7-year-old daughter died home alone while she went out to a bar. A mother has been sentenced to life behind bars for abandoning her daughter with Down syndrome at home while visiting a bar in Bay City, Texas, more than 2 years ago, according to reports. Lauren K. Dean, 28, was sentenced to life imprisonment and an extra 20 years for abandonment following a guilty plea in court last week over the death of her 7-year-old daughter, Jordan Barrera. Law and Crime reported. She was also accused of leaving her two other children unattended at home in Bay City, about 65 miles southwest of Houston, while visiting a nearby bar in January of 2020 when Jordan was found dead. Her 5 and 3-year-old children are meanwhile found alive at the addresses and the 2200 block of Bordeaux, where Jordan was bedridden due to medical conditions, police said. During the check, officers located a deceased 7-year-old female child inside the residence along with the mother of that child. The Bay City Police Department said following the welfare check in January of 2020, the 7-year-old child was bedridden due to medical conditions. Dean was taken into custody and booked into Matagorda County Jail on 3 separate charges of child endangerment, rape, child endangerment, and imminent danger of bodily injury. She was later charged with murder, according to Fox News. In court, Dean pleaded guilty to capital murder and 3 counts of child abandonment as part of a plea agreement, which avoided going to jury trial, where the 28-year-old could have faced the death penalty. The Bay City Tribune reported the 20 years for child abandonment will be served concurrently with the life sentence. The same report said. Okay, let's pause for a second. This ain't the first time a mother been arrested for leaving children in cars, homes, anywhere. Just go to a bar. It's not the first time. This happened 13 days ago, I suppose. Now, this is the mother. Let's expose her for a second. Okay. Number one, if you know your child have a medical condition and she need out and she need attendance hour around the clock, then you should have number one taken care of her as a parent. But number two, if you needed a little break, you could have maybe I don't know, maybe got the biological father to maybe, you know, babysat till you got back. You could have had a friend come over, anything. You don't leave children alone so you can go to a bar and get drunk and then come back and then have a sob story. Man, please get there. It just stupid. You know you had obligations to take care of your child or your children, but instead you chose alcohol over your children, and that's what you call a deadbeat mother. When you choose alcohol over your significant other, some people don't deserve to be parents, and all that's number the biological father is that, or a relative, or anybody else was at the time of this incident, because somebody would have to know that this woman has serious issues. And I'm pretty sure it's not the first time she left her children home alone. That's the first time she got caught, believe it or not. Because I don't think it's the first time she left her children home alone. It's the first time she got caught. Somebody saw something, said something, and reported her. And that was amazing. She needs to be right where she at, and that's in a county jail on her way to prison. Because nobody should be treated the way this woman treated her children. It was neglect. You chose you chose to go to a bar to get wasted over being a parent to your children. If you can't be a parent to your children, then you should not be laying down having children. But because you having children, that is your job as a parent to take care of your children. If you needed some long time, I'm pretty sure you could have asked your mother, you could have asked anybody to babysit. But don't leave children unattended just so you go to a bar and get lit. It's uncalled for, and these children have to be here. Like, comment, subscribe. We are going on story 4 out of 1. Back in Texas. Texas man, Texas again, Texas now. For Texas man allegedly strangled 2 newborns in the hospital as his girlfriend was in labor. And this is the demon on my screen. Odessa, Texas. An 18-year-old man was arrested after he allegedly forced his way into a nursery at a hospital and began choking newborns, according to the Odessa Police Department. On Monday, October the 3rd, officers were called to Odessa Regional Medical Center regarding a disturbance. Medical personnel reported to police a man forced his way into the nursery and began assaulting patients and staff. The suspect, 18-year-old Marcus Cohen Jr. was repeatedly aggressive toward officers, which led to a physical altercation. McCohen allegedly tried to remove an officer's gun from the holster. The arrest affidavit, cited by KMID KPEG TV, says the incident occurred around 6:30 p.m. at McCohen was at the hospital because his girlfriend was in labor. He reportedly went to the nursing station, grabbed the nurse's arm, and said something unintelligible. The nurse reportedly asked him to leave, and he allegedly began running around the hallway. McCohen allegedly stared down a mother holding her newborn, but she moved the child after she saw Cohen staring at the baby. He then allegedly sprinted towards the nurses and pushed them as he tried to gain entrance into the nursery. When he couldn't get in the nursery, McCohen allegedly grabbed the newborn he saw and took it to the lactation room. A nurse where he saw him put his hands on the baby's neck, but nurses were eventually able to free the child from her. A respiratory therapist reportedly saw McCohen enter the nursery where he allegedly took another newborn and started strangling her. He reportedly also picked up the baby and started shaking her. The child's skin turned blue, according to the affidavit. He allegedly told the newborn to die, and he appeared as if he was going to throw the child to the ground. The respiratory therapist was able to bring McCohen to the ground and protect the child's head. Jury records show McCohen was booked on charges of 2 counts of attempted capital murder, criminal trespass, assault, attempt to take weapon from an officer, resisting arrest, and drug possession. Odessa police said numerous charges are pending. Odessa police stated the victim has 2 newborns, 2 nurses, and 1 Odessa police officer. Okay, promise to God. I don't understand why women get themselves in a predicament. You knew you could do it. And the fact that you you did strangle 2 infants at a hospital, same hospital where your girlfriend was giving birth. So you could worry about killing infants than seeing your newborn child be born. He's exactly where he needs to be, behind bars. He's a danger to children. The fact that he's having a child scares me because it's not suitable to be a parent. He's not. He's a child abuser, and when he gets to prison, they're gonna get him after protective custody ain't gonna stop these inmates from getting him. He's dead meat when he gets to state prison. He's dead meat, if not already dead in jail. He's dead meat. Because inmates don't love fake child abusers. So you're gonna go right to the jungle, the belly of the beast, and they're gonna own you. You're gonna become Smitty's bitch in prison, and rightfully so. Because you think you could put your hands on children. Children are innocent and they asked to be here. So you don't have a right to put your hands on children. Point blank, period. Woman, take a look at this. This is who you want to have a child by, and I'm sorry. I would be by my damn self before letting that in my house. Like, comment, subscribe. He deserves everything that's coming towards him, and he deserves life imprisonment. The rest of his life imprisonment, which he will get because he's charged with 2 counts of attempted capital murder. Yes, I think I got the age on 7. Okay. 7-month-old girl is left fighting for her life after being assaulted at a nursery as a woman in her 30s is arrested. A woman has been arrested on suspicion of assault and child cruelty after a baby was found in a critical condition at a nursery. The 7-month-old girl became critically ill at the nursery in Oldham, Greater Manchester. Cops said the baby was taken from kids around the clock nursery in Cheltenham to a hospital at around 3:30 p.m. on September 21st. Greater Manchester Police confirmed the infant was in a serious but stable condition. A woman in her 30s was arrested and has since been bailed with strict conditions. Officers said the child's parents were being kept updated and were being supported by officers. Ofsted, who manage school standards in the UK, have closed the nursery on Main Road while an investigation is carried out. The Manchester Evening News reported on Thursday evening that a notice had been stuck to the front door of the nursery by Ofsted. It explains that school has been suspended to allow time to investigate a belief that a child had been exposed to a risk of harm, and for any necessary steps to be taken to eliminate or reduce the risk of harm. Okay, so this was at UK Manchester. So UK Manchester. Okay. Now, I don't understand why anybody would need to put their hands on a 7-month-old child. I mean, it's not your child to be manhandling. Your job as a nursery provider is to babysit and watch children, not to abuse children in your custody, not to do anything you want to do to people's children and think you can get away with it. No, child cruelty is a serious crime, and in most states and cities, is a felony. So if you think that you was going to get away with abusing a 7-month-old, you are sadly mistaken. And I'm glad this nursery was closed until the investigation was done. Secondly, there's too many stories where daycare workers and nursery workers and workers, period, abusing children in custody. Your job is to babysit, take care of children, not to abuse other people's children and think that you're going to get away with it. You're going to get caught and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Like commoners described, justice for the 7-month child. She didn't deserve what was brought onto her. And to this 30-year-old woman, you are a monster and you need to stay behind bars. And if I was a judge, the book would have been thrown so far she wouldn't be able to catch it. She'd been facing at least a life sentence, um, 50 years to life. Child cruelty is a serious crime, and it's not something that should be taken lightly. Okay? That's a story. 6 out of 1. 6 out of 1. This story took place October 7th, 2022. It was published that day at 2 p.m. So the story happened in about the first week of October. And this is the victim. And it says teens ages 14 and 15 charged with murder for allegedly firing 100 rounds at an innocent woman in a drive-by. 2 teenage boys are in custody after deputies allege they sprayed dozens of rounds into an innocent Texas woman's home, killing her during a drive-by shooting. During a news conference, Bexar County Sheriff Javier Sozer said he believes the suspects ages 14 and 15 hit the wrong house in a West Bexar County neighborhood about 12:30 a.m. Tuesday. I don't think they're showing any remorse whatsoever, Sozer told reporters. Both teams face charges of first-degree murder and assault with a deadly weapon. According to the outlet, 25-year-old Navedia Brazil has been identified as the victim in the shooting. A GoFundMe for Brazil describes her as the sweetest person you would ever meet. She was kind, selfless, funny, loving, adventurous, and had a heart of gold. Another woman, who Sosa said was staying with the victim as an Airbnb guest, suffered a non-life-threatening injury after she was shot in the leg. Brazil was completely innocent. Sosa said she was just upbringing the midnight oil, doing some work on her computer, and now she's dead. According to Sosa, over 100 shell cases were discovered at the crime scene. The teen suspects who led deputies on a car chase were apprehended 10 miles away in the back of a baseball field, the station reports. In addition to the murder and assault charges, the 14-year-old suspect has also been charged with arrest for the motor vehicle and authorized use of a motor vehicle, while the 15-year-old suspect has been charged with evading arrest on foot prior to the station. It was unclear Thursday if the pair entered a plea to the charges. Lawyer information was not readily available. My thing is this: what gives anybody a right to shoot at anybody's house? I don't give a damn if we shot one time, but to shoot 100 times at an innocent person's house and then kill them. And the sad part is, the killers are 14, 15 years old. They are babies, right? 14, 15. Children. You got children out here killing grown women just because you didn't intend to shoot someone. bullets have names on it. Yes, they killed an innocent woman who was in her house, just sitting on her computer doing killed her because y'all thought y'all was at the so-called correct house. Doesn't matter if y'all was at the correct house. You shouldn't be shooting at anybody else, and for damn sure you shouldn't be shooting no 100 times. This is why it's important for parents, mothers, and fathers to be in their children's lives. Because now you have a 14 and 15-year-old statistic children who's going to go to prison for a long time over what? Over thinking that they shot at the right house. Because you're still going to go to prison anyways, whether it's the right house or not. You committed a felony when you shot that gun. So don't be in court crying to about how, and parents love to go to court crying to about how good their children are. No, your children ain't good. Children killed a woman. And let's be honest. They killed the innocent woman. So if it, at the end of the day, your family is grieving because of what your children did. So anything, your children have some answers to explain. And they to explain why they thought it was a great idea to shoot at someone's house and think that their bullet was not going to do damage. Because it did a great damage. It did a big damage. And the damage it did was it took someone's life. It killed a female. I believe she was 25 years old. I think. Let me go back. Let's see. Yep. 25. They killed a 25-year-old woman. And because of what? They thought that was at the right house. What does that matter? You killed somebody and now you're going to have to pay. Like, comment, subscribe. Now, that was 6 to 1 stories. I have 2 bonus stories I'm going to tell you guys about because I think it's important. This first story, I was going to do. The story happened a while ago, but I was going to talk about it, and I've got a chance to talk about it, so I'm going to talk about it now. Let me look it up. The article. Once again, Texas Texan now. Escape of Texas twins leads to arrest of abusive mother and boyfriend. So, not even biological father, it's mom and mom's boyfriend. If you look at there. The couple fled with the other 5 children after they were reported to local authorities and were arrested in Louisiana. After making a break for it to get away from the abusive mother and her boyfriend in Texas, handcuffed and barefoot 16-year-old twins were turned away repeatedly by neighbors as they went door to door looking for assistance before a good Samaritan let them aside and summoned help, according to authorities. That woman called to authorities prompted an interstate search for the twins, siblings, which ended in Louisiana's capital city and led to the arrest of the alleged abusive couple at the center of a case that has caused shock across 2 U.S. states. The accused mother, Zakiya Duncan, and her boyfriend, Jova Terrell, face charges of injury to a child, which in some cases can carry a minimum of 5 years in prison. The couple appeared in a Baton Rouge courtroom on Thursday and said they would not contest being transferred to the custody of authorities in Houston, who are investigating them. Meanwhile, 7 underage children involved for now have been turned over to the care of Child Protective Services officials, according to reporting from multiple media outlets, including television news stations. Houston and WBRZ in Baton Rouge. Police became aware of plight, the children's plight after a 16-year-old boy and his twin sister ran door to door through the neighborhood in Cypress, Texas, just northwest of Houston, for roughly 30 minutes, pleading for someone to help them. Doorbell camera footage reportedly showed the boy and sister both barefoot and shivering, while several neighbors, uncertain about what to do, told them to move along. The boy was shirtless, and the girl who wore a plastic grocery bag as a top, according to court documents obtained by the Guardian. Eventually, a woman opened her door, let them inside, wrapped them in blankets, and called a local constable's office. They were so skinny and so frail that woman told Houston she also said that the children had told her about how they had fled from a home where their mother kept them locked in a laundry room where they were naked except for zip ties around their ankles and handcuffs on their wrists. In interviews with investigators who arrived later, the children described how their caretakers would make them use a mop bucket with dirty water to shower and to urinate and defecate on themselves when they needed to go to the bathroom. They said they had been subjected to other brutal physical abuse as well. The twins were taken to the hospital on Thursday. A medical examination later revealed signs that the children had been starved, and the boy had at least one healed bone fracture consistent with physical abuse. The woman who took the twins in added that the children had recounted how sometimes the only meal and the woman who took the twins and added that the children also recounted how sometimes their only meal in a day would be a sandwich. If they made any type of noise, they would be fed, said the woman. They wouldn't be fed, sorry. Adding that the word provoked from tears of frustration, anger, and sadness. Investigators went to the home from which the twins had run away. Duncan 40 and Terrell 27 were gone, so were 5 other children between the ages of 7 and 14. Authorities issued what is known as an Amber Alert, asking public for help and finding the minors, broadcasting the information in the media and electronic roadway signs. Several hours later, Louisiana State Police troopers saw Duncan's car off the campus of Louisiana State University in Baton Rouge. They apprehended and arrested the couple. Only an 18-year-old was with them. Troopers later found the rest of the children at the home of a relative where Terrell and Duncan had dropped them off. This week was not the first time Duncan had been accused of abusing a child. About a decade ago, Baton Rouge police arrested her on suspicion of child cruelty after one of her children showed up injured at an emergency room, court records show. Duncan eventually pleaded guilty, agreed to a parenting class, and served probation until 2020, as WBRZ first reported. In the U.S., call the Texas Children Help Abuse Hotline at 800-422-4453. In the UK, the NSPCC offers support to children on 0800-1111 and adults concerned about a child on 0800-800-5000. The National Association for People Abused. That's the if in Australia, children, young adults, parents, and teachers can contact the Kids Helpline 1-800-551800. Adult survivors can seek help at Blue Knot Foundation on 1-300-657-3800. Other sources of help can be found at Child Hope Lines International. Okay. Now, the last story I just talked about, let's see. The fourth story I talked about, which was story number 3, is the parent got life in 20 years for going to a bar leaving her children alone. That parent chose to leave her children alone and go to the bar. This mother chose her boyfriend over her children well-being. Now, the fact that this abuse was going on like this, it's sad that your own mother can be this cruel and evil and wicked and lock your own children up in a washroom and starve the children, beat the children, make the children do horrible things. Some people don't need children because shout out to AFC DJ J. Okay, he says it best: children for benefits. A lot of parents have these children for the income that they're receiving from the children. And so they think because they receive so much income from their children that they can go and abuse the children, which in reality is a felony in most states. Child abuse is serious. These parents, and I want to know where the biological father is at, because obviously he's not in his children's lives. So either the mother ain't let him in the children's lives, or he's a deadbeat. One of the two. But the father, something tells me that all 5 children have different fathers. Something because not even a father of children came out and spoke publicly about this. I would, because I would want to have my story told, because you can't get mad when people from the public start speaking bad about you because you're not in your children's life, and this is happening to your children who you gave birth to with this woman. So, it's important, parents, to always be in the children's lives and let the fathers get a chance in the children's lives. Stop being manipulative with these biological fathers and think that the world just revolves around you, because it's hurting your children in the long run. It's hurting them inside. So this mother failed her children, and she had enough to have 5 children, abused 2 of her children, and or she has 7 children, abused 2 of them, and and stop bringing men around your children who you just met. You don't know this person from a can of paint. You're bringing them around your children, and then wonder why your children end up either dead, molested, kidnapped, robbed, beaten, somewhere hurt, because you're bringing men where they do not know around them. Quit. Come on, women. And it goes for men too. Stop bringing women around your children who your children don't know. It's dangerous, and it can hurt you, and it can hurt your family in the long run. So let's think about that. Seriously, let's think about that. Now I have one more story for you guys, and this story happened in the neck of my woods, so neck of my hood. So I want to talk about this story, give my opinion on this story, and this story is crazy, and I've been talking about this particular topic for a long time. So here we go. I meant to say justice for those 2 16-year-old sister and brother. Justice for the children. Mother and father deserve serious prison time. Decades in prison. Throw the book at them. Louisiana and Texas. Excuse me. Well, this happened 12 hours ago. 4 teens is killed in crash at 33 at Route 33 and Route 198 here in Buffalo, New York. And I'm getting a news article from Buffalo, New York, WBB. 4 teenagers have been pronounced dead and 2 more were injured as a result of a crash where the westbound Route 33 lanes met Route 198 Buffalo Police said. Officers responded to the area where a vehicle rolled over at approximately 6:40 a.m. The ages ranges of the identified occupants were ages 14 to 17, according to the police. 1 passenger in the intensive care unit at UCMC, while the 16-year-old driver was treated and released. 5 of the 6 occupants, all but the driver, were ejected. 3 of the 4 were pronounced dead at the scene. The car, which was a Kia, was reported stolen from the city of Buffalo at approximately 8 p.m. Sunday night. The 16-year-old is in police custody and charges are pending. Police believe that excessive speed put the factor in the accident and the driver was not wearing a seatbelt. Erie County District Attorney John Fawn said that most likely 1 or 2 charges will be filed initially. Buffalo Police Commissioner Joseph Gramaglia said that the teens may have been participating in the quote, Kia Challenge, which is a viral social media trend that encourages people to break into Kia cars using cell phone chargers. The area reopened at approximately 1:45 p.m. Monday. The incident is still under investigation. So here I'm going to show you the
Check out our $0 Medicare
the accident scene, and then I'm going to show you the news conference.
benefits like these. Talk to a Rexshare today.
Good evening. 4 teenagers are dead. 1 is in custody after police say they were all riding in a stolen car that crashed at the 33-198 split in Buffalo.
Police are looking into whether a challenge on social media may have played a role in this crash. Our Hope Winter has an update tonight. Hope.
Yeah, Dave and Jackie, police say this morning a 16-year-old was at the wheel of a car carrying 6 teenagers. Police say that car hit a wall where the westbound 33 meets the 198. 4 teens were killed and 1 is in the ICU tonight. And police say social media may have played a role in this crash.
This is an extremely sad morning in the city of Buffalo when you lose 4 young lives in a horrific accident like this.
Buffalo police say 6 teens from 14 to 17 years old were riding in a stolen car after 6:30 Monday morning when the 16-year-old driver ran into the wall where the 33 meets the 198. 4 teens were killed in the accident and all 5 passengers were ejected from the vehicle.
A horrific morning. It's a horrific morning for the families, their friends, our police officers and our investigators in the fire department that were there investigating this.
Police Commissioner Gramaglia says investigators believe excessive speed played a factor in the crash, and he says the Kia vehicle they were riding in was reported stolen at 8 p.m. on Sunday. Police believe this could be related to a popular challenge on social media. The posting shows how to break into a Kia, and many cities throughout the country are seeing an uptick in Kia cars being stolen, including right here at home.
We have began to see a sharp increase in their investing.
Okay. Now, what I talk about a lot is that when you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. The stupid game is this Kia challenge. Any challenge you do can result in a deadly consequence. This Kia challenge, number 1, was dangerous to even be partaken. And the fact that, people don't understand that, doing these TikTok challenges can have a daily outcome. Selling vehicles just to do a challenge, just to get chased by the police, and then end up in a daily accident. That it costs people their lives. It caused families to grieve and now got to bury their loved ones. It caused a 16-year-old to go to get locked up and could face charges. So there's no winners here. So let's think about that for a second. I always actually talked about these. I actually talked about these challenges on my videos. And I did a video on this channel. I believe it was a couple months ago, and I was talking about these challenges, these deviant challenges that people, come on, we had to start with these challenges. They're getting out of hand. They're causing people their lives, causing people to get hurt. It's ending in tragedy, and the only people suffering behind these tragedies are victims' family. So when you put people's lives in jeopardy because you want to play stupid games right along with these people, why not just and who comes up with these challenges? Take a charger and put it in a kid door just to steal a car. I mean, it wasn't worth it. It was worth it. And those parents are grieving. We're talking about teens between the ages of gotta be 15 to 17 who are killed. That's tragic. That's tragic. To bury young children behind a so-called challenge. That got to be tragic. Can you imagine being a parent getting that phone call? My child's dead behind a kid challenge. It's crazy. But you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. RP to everybody involved. To the ones that are injured, real vicious, get real soon. To the victims' families, the families all over. Please, if you have a teenage daughter, a teenage son, talk to your children. Because it's not okay to be doing these challenges. And then, when they end up involved in a deadly accident and then end up behind bars accused of speeding from the police because they want to do these deviant challenges, it could change your life forever. It's 16-year-old life. The 16-year-old child whose life is gonna be forever scarred because he's gonna go to prison for this. And most likely he's gonna go for vehicular homicide once the investigation is over. He's already facing 2 different charges. So, you gotta be careful what you put in there. And I know TikTok is a dangerous platform, hands down. Especially when these challenges start scrolling on the screen. It can be dangerous. Parents, watch your children. Watch what your children research on the internet, watches on the internet, because that could be embedded in their brain and their mind. They can go out and complete that challenge. And guess what? You get either a phone call or not your door by the police. I'm sorry, Mrs. and Mrs., but your child is deceased because of a challenge. So just think about that. Parents, it's your job to look after your children. It shouldn't be the police job. It shouldn't be the city's job. It shouldn't be other people's job. It should be your job. You brought children into this world. You should be able to parent your children in the right direction. Innocent children, 4, lost their lives today in a deadly crash on Route 33 off of the 198. 4. 4. 4. 4 families got to bury their loved ones behind what the Kia challenge and by the police. I mean, was it worth it? Now 4 families are grieving. Grieving. We gotta make a change. The community leaders to come forward. The protests. We need to start protesting these challenges and get them off the internet because they're killing our children. They are killing our children. Thank you guys so much for watching. Keep those victims, family in your prayers. Keep the injured victims, family in your prayers. City of Buffalo is getting our going through hard times. Also going through a hard time in St. Louis. So keep St. Louis. Let's keep Buffalo. Let's keep Mississippi, Texas. And let's keep every state and city and country in your thoughts and prayers. There's a lot going on around the world. There's a lot of crime each and every day happening. And it's time to stop the crimes. It's not okay. We can't stand by this no more. We gotta start speaking up. Like, comment, subscribe. After my Cash App down. Cash App is money sign capital C PA 106. Cash App me. That'd be great. And that way I could put it towards my YouTube and towards our merch and towards necessities that we need for our channels and for the channels to grow. And I want you guys to grow right along with me. And without you, I won't have channels. And this is hard times. We're in hard times, but we can pass this hard time. We can get through this hard time. I love you guys. Stay blessed. Stay humble. Peace out. Till next time. Let's see. Right in this video, let me make sure these guys for a second. I will see you guys on this channel on Thursday. Subscribe to my Crime Time channel. I will see you guys on that channel on Wednesdays and Fridays. Subscribe to my reaction channel, Charles Reactions. And I will see you guys there on Tuesdays and Saturdays. Sundays, I am completely off. On Sundays, I do online church on Instagram. Go over there now. Check me out. Faith and humanity is what the world needs. Faith and humanity. We need to respect each and every one of us. We need to respect each other. We need to show love and affection and pass it along generations to generations. See you guys on Thursday. Peace.